Okay, I heard y'all. I hear y'all in the background like, yo, Gay, you're not just going to sit here and stay quiet about what's going on with Kenneth Gainwell. Hey, man, we need Stat Sheet Steve to break out that pencil and paper and start getting to work. I heard y'all, man. We're going to talk about it. Kenneth Gainwell. Boy, he's had a heck of a 2-game run, man. He's earning that name that he's calling himself, Postseason Kenny, because that young man has had a tremendous 2 games inside the postseason. But we're going to talk about it by the numbers and what it means. All right, y'all. Let's get into this one. What's up, Cerebral Football fans? My name is Steven Hyder. This is Gate City Sports Channel. So you guys might have noticed that Kenneth Gainwell has been trending. He's pretty much on the majority of all the Eagles podcasters. He's being talked about in terms of on all the chat boards. He's even making his way into the national media to where you see people are talking about Kenneth Gainwell. And it's really difficult to kind of put this one contextually into frame. How do you talk about it? How do you frame this conversation? Because truth be told, man, the Philadelphia Eagles have had a heck of a year. And we've had guys that have been basically eating up those big play rates all season long. For instance, if you talk about plays above 25 yards, A.J. Brown has caught more passes above 25 yards than any other player in the league. When you talk about runs above 12 yards, what our coaching staff considers to be a big play within the running game. Miles Sanders, 29 runs above 12 yards, ranks 4th in the NFL. We got guys who are definitely, producing. I mean, Jalen Hurts has 19 runs on the season above 12 yards, which is not quite top 20, but he's just outside that frame of reference, that area. So, when we try to contextualize Kenneth Gainwell, we do have to kind of keep this narrative. We have to keep this thing kind of in the perspective of, man, this offensive line deserves a lot of kudos. This offensive line deserves a lot of credit. This offensive line is cooking. Not only cooking, it's pushing. Specifically, it's pushing 49ers out of the way. Yeah, I ain't letting it go, bro. I'm going to keep dogging them. But all right, guys, before we jump into today's content, I get into the specifics of the numbers with Kenneth Gainwell. First, a word from our sponsor. My health struggles have been fairly well documented on this channel. And recently, I've been working with my own personal trainer, Cameron. And a lot of you guys might be asking, Steve, Gabe, why are you working with a personal trainer, man? You got prior military experience, you've played ball, you don't know how to set your own programming? Man, I got to tell you, there's something to be said about having extra eyes on your programming, extra eyes on your diet, nutrition, and extra eyes on basically helping keep you accountable. I connected with Cameron thanks to today's sponsor, Future. Future is a fitness app that will pair you with your own highly credentialed personal trainer who will build you custom workouts that you can complete on your own time wherever you are. It's like having a personal trainer in your own living room. Upon signing up, you will have a video call with your trainer who will then design you a fitness plan that is unique to you. Future's trainers are equipment agnostics. Meaning, if you're only able to do bodyweight workouts at home, or if you choose to go to the gym, the coach will build it into your plan. Between voice prompts, video check-in calls with your trainer, and messaging within the app, you'll feel like your trainer is always by your side. Together, you and your trainer will work together to achieve your fitness goals. If you start to get bored with your plan, your coach is there to change it up for you and keep you on track. Future's trainers have trained everyone from professional athletes to working professionals. No matter your level, your trainer meets you where you are at. Whether your goal is to get back to the gym, lose weight, or feel your best, there's an expert Future trainer who knows exactly how to help you. If you finally want to hit your fitness goals, then I have a special offer for you. If you use my link, you will get your first month free until February 10th. This is a very, very limited time offer, guys, to where you will get your first month free if you sign up by February 10th. Guys, take advantage of this. It's very, very limited. Following February 10th, guys, they're still going to hook us up. They're still going to give you a great deal, but it'll be a $19 a month kind of trial period for it. Think of what you can accomplish during that month. Go to https://tryfuture.co/Gate City Sports. That's GATCITYSPORTS. See the description down below if you guys just want a quick link to click on. All right, y'all. Back to today's video. So Kenneth Gainwell, in 2 postseason games, has 7 runs of 12-plus yards. You might say, oh, man, that's a pretty good 2-game span, but, where does that rank in terms of the NFL? Where is some of these other guys at? How does he rank in terms of things? To simply put this, he's the 7th player on the season to have runs of 7 runs of 12-plus yards in a 2-game span. 7 guys. He's one of 7. The other 6 players, just in case you're curious of what those names consist of, Nick Chubb, Josh Jacobs, Kenneth Walker III, Derrick Henry, Justin Fields, and Tyler Algier. Now, I want to state a couple of things. There's 3 of these guys on that list of 7 who have done it more than one time. By the way, Josh Jacobs has done it like 3 times. Like his week 5 to week 7 kind of lumps together. Week 5, week 6, week 6, week 7. He had a tremendous run in terms of like week 5 through week 7, but he also did it towards the middle of the season too, like around week 11 or 12, somewhere in that area. And then you got guys like Derrick Henry who's done it a couple times this season, and you got Justin Fields who did it a couple times this season. Hi Freya, get off my flag for the Eagles. Sorry about that. So, as I contextualize the conversation, like we have to keep it in mind that what he's done is, one hand can be explained that our offensive line is just good. On the other hand, although Miles Sanders ranks 4th in the NFL in terms of runs above 12 yards, keep this in perspective. He ain't on the list. He's not one of those 7 players who've done this in consecutive weeks in terms of having 7 runs over a 2-week span of 12 yards or greater. So, I mean, to some extent, you kind of have to give Kenneth Gainwell his flowers. The dude has been ridiculously good, and it's hard to, like, discount him, man. And, I mean, when you really look at it in terms of, like, what he's done, in terms of the postseason, Miles Sanders, Travis Etienne, and CMC, Christian McCaffrey, all 3 of those backs pretty much rank second in terms of the postseason. All 3 of them have 4 runs above 12 yards. Kenneth Gainwell has 7 runs above 12 yards. And while I will say it's a little debatable to say that he's getting way more carries than Miles Sanders, some of those names on those lists got a lot more carries than he did, to be quite fair. He's doing it in far fewer, kind of like snap count here. I mean, the young man he's going off, man. Like, he's definitely going off. In terms of the postseason in total, the Philadelphia Eagles have 13 runs within 2 games in the postseason of 12-plus yards. Kenneth Gainwell with 7, Miles Sanders with 4, Jalen Hurts has 2. This team has absolutely pushed along both of the teams we've played in terms of in the trenches. Offensively, absolutely. We can see that from the numbers today. But defensively as well, too, man. We have pushed these guys all around the field. It's kind of hard, man. It's kind of hard to say that he's not doing something that's pretty unique. It's not, he's number 1 in the postseason in terms of runs above 12 yards. Like, he's one of only 7 players in the NFL who have a 2-week span of 7 runs or more of 12 yards. Like, I mean, he's performing at a level that I don't think any of us saw coming. I want to preface this because sneaking behind this conversation is a deadly conversation about Miles Sanders' future, and I don't know the answer, guys. It's way too early for that right now. I don't know what the contract demands are going to be. I do think there's going to be a time and a place for that in the offseason, guys, where we need to look up the contracts and just kind of see similar age, similar type production, where do guys kind of fall into that and get the scale before we weigh in on it. I don't know. But what I can say definitively is that there's 2 out of the 3 things I look for in a running back that it looks like are starting to peak with Kenneth Gainwell. The first one is, can you run the football? How instinctive are you? I'll say Kenneth Gainwell is really good at getting in between, the tackles, running inside zone in particular, man. He just gets downhill. He's one cut. He's decisive, man. He allows his blocking to get there, and he gets there. He can catch the ball out of the backfield. There's a lot of turmoil this offseason about whether or not he can catch the ball out of the backfield. Turns out that he's a pretty good job there, man. He can do it. And then the third part is the part we don't know. That has to do with pass protection. Pass protection is a hard and difficult one to kind of judge with running backs. It takes a lot of film study to do that. I'm not ready to say whether I think he can do that or not yet, guys. Like, that requires a lot of attention and detail in the offseason to grade that and see, like, okay, where is he? How much growth occurred during the course of the season? And would you feel comfortable if that guy became your primary back? Because that's the conversation, honestly. With that said, man, if there's a path forward where you can keep Kenneth Gainwell and Miles Sanders together, I'm for it. But I also am a realist, and I understand every player retained is a financial decision being made by the staff. So I don't know. That's where you come in, guys. Leave your comments down below. What do you think about Kenneth Gainwell? What do you think about the future of Miles Sanders? That will be a separate video coming up. And what do you think? 1-2 combination is the best path forward. Hey, you can't keep everybody gate. We love Miles Sanders, but he might be one of those guys you have to let go. What's your thoughts on that, guys? All right, y'all. I appreciate y'all so much, and I'll see you guys on the next video.